Hi, I'm Whyte Paterson. I'm the master blender for Whyte Mackay, and I had the honour way back in 2011 to create the Shackleton whiskey, or the Mackinlay Highland Malt as it was known way back then. You've got to remember, way back in 1907, we gave Ernest Shackleton 25 cases to accompany him, along with 12 cases of brandy and 6 cases of port to accompany all these 15 men down to the Antarctica. As all of you will know, on Saturday, the 9th of January 1909, he got within 97 miles to the South Pole. But he had to make a decision. Do I go on and I die, or do I turn around and save my men? And that's what Ernest Shackleton did. He turned around and he got back in March 1909. But little do we know, when he sailed back to the United Kingdom, he had left 3 cases of this wonderful whiskey. Then in 2011, I managed to retrieve just 3 bottles, and I was given the honour and privilege of recreating it. We didn't know at that time if it was a blended malt, single malt, or a blended whiskey. But it transpired that it came originally from the Glenmore distillery, built 1892, closed 1983. So what I wanted to do was to take some of that original whiskey, but obviously the distillery had closed. But I managed to source 1 cask, a 1980 Glenmore, 1980, spookily enough, cask number 1907, along with taking whiskies from the Speyside Valley, the Highland region, but more importantly, that phenolics. The phenolics, of course, is coming in at 3.5% phenolics. So that was the most difficult part to create. After about 40 different samples of trial and entering, we finally created this whiskey. And as you can see, once again, the first thing you have to look about it is the color, but more importantly, the strength. It's 47.3% alcohol. That's why this whiskey was in the ice for 103 years, but did not freeze. So you have to look at the alcohol when you bring it up and you say hello. Then you go back to it and say, how are you? And then you go back up and say, quite well, thank you very much. Pear, apple, cinnamon, spice, honey, vanilla, and then you get that whisper of the peat towards the end. This is what gives this whiskey the edge, the charisma, and really what reflects of whiskies of the 19th century. So I'd like you to think, when you drink this, remember the style of the whiskey during that period, but more importantly, the memory of Sir Ernest Shackleton and his other 14 men. These were not just heroes, they were unbelievably courageous. They had real style panache, and it's good that we should remember them through this lovely, wonderful Highland Malt whiskey. The Mackinlay's Shackleton whiskey, something truly unforgettable.